Hey, we had so much fun talking about Iron Man 3 that we just had to continue the discussion. However, there are massive, massive, massive spoilers ahead, so do not watch this video unless you've seen the movie first, okay? I have warned you, you can't get mad at me now.
Can't get mad at us.
All right, now we're just going to talk. All right, first huge thing that we need to talk about. Devin.
Tony Stark gets rid of the arc reactor. So now one of the symbols of Iron Man is not only gone, he got rid of the arc reactor, he blew up all of the Iron
All
Mans,
42 suits.
all of them,
Yeah.
for Pepper, which...
Christmas present.
Yeah, you know, risk the world.
I mean, the idea behind it is that being Iron Man kind of consumed a lot of his life and didn't allow him to really live. I mean, you know, in the beginning they talk about how he wasn't sleeping or anything like that. So the fact that, you know, and they kind of explode like fireworks, it was kind of, and it was a clean slate for him. And removing the arc reactor made sense. Now that he's not in the middle of the Afghan desert, you know, they can remove those pieces of metal.
I don't know why they didn't do it sooner.
Yeah, I mean...
No, because he didn't have the extremist technology to do it.
Because if you didn't learn anything from that movie, it's to use the extremists. Use it willingly.
You should just use extremists. You know, so it was a great ending, and it leaves a lot of room. You know, the last thing we hear him say is, you know, no matter what, I am Iron Man, and that, you know, obviously he's going to be Iron Man again in Avengers. There's no way they can't have another one. You know, there's discussion of whether this is the last Iron Man film. Whether or not it is, you know, we know he's going to take up the suit again. It'll be really interesting to find out how he does that.
And I feel like in him taking up the suit again, they'll be interesting to show the struggle, not between him and his desire to take up the suit, but really between
him
Pepper,
and Pepper, yeah.
Because she is the reason he gave all of this up. Like you said, it's literally, this was his Christmas present.
Well, so there was a little thing like near the end that kind of made me feel like she won't have a problem anymore. So when she got powers from extremists, and she was like, I understand why you don't want to give this up. I feel like if it turns into that conversation, she won't have as much of a problem, because I think he'll give her her own armor.
Female Iron Man.
I did
Rescue.
like when she got
yes.
this.
Yeah. Next thing.
Next thing.
Oh, next thing.
Post credits.
So a common rule for Marvel films is to never leave the theater until the credits are over. Now, I don't know how to feel about this one because I waited and I like satisfied nerd like Nirvana because that was a great movie. And then I sit through a good 10 minutes of 1,000 Names, which I'm happy to because these people worked really hard. And then it's just a little gag between him and Bruce Banner. Because Mark Ruffalo makes a little appearance. And the whole movie he's narrating. Yeah. So it's basically he's talking past tense the entire movie as a narrator. And you find out he's like in a little therapy session with Bruce Banner, the Hulk. It was a funny little gag. I laughed. I thought it was cute. But it also kind of summed up my problem with the movie and that it was a little too isolated from this whole... It's this kickoff for Phase 2, and it didn't kick off anything.
You know, it was a little lackluster. You know, all of the previous ones have been, you know, about setting up other films, and it didn't really set anything up. It was funny, though. It was funny.
But that's the thing. Iron Man, the first one, was a standalone by itself, didn't set anything up.
It set Avengers up.
Well, yeah, it did, but you know,
yeah.
we didn't know that at the time. But like, it just laid the groundwork for what was coming afterwards.
Well, the post-credits, Nick Fury was like, I'm making the Avengers.
Yeah.
Right, and then the post-credits in this one.
That was the Mac Daddy of post-credits. That set the tone. That made me literally like fall out of my chair when I saw it, because I had no idea it was coming. And then, I forget what Iron Man 2 1 was, because I forget what Iron Man 2 was. But Iron Man 3 was just a cute little button.
Iron Man 2 was cool.
I wanted Ant-Man.
right.
I wanted a space suit.
Yeah.
No,
I wanted
you know what?
Guardians. I wanted Rocket Raccoon.
I'm okay with connecting it with Banner, you know, because Banner's awesome.
Well, it's
and their friendship is hilarious.
But it doesn't expand anything. We know.
Science,
All right,
bro.
all right. We gotta move on here. Now, the big thing, which I don't think is gonna disappoint any of us, the idea that the Mandarin is actually an actor. There's this great scene when Tony infiltrates the Mandarin's palace, and Ben Kingsley comes out of the bathroom. There's like 2 whores on his bed, and he's like, oh man, I'm totally from London. And he comes out, and he's like in his underpants, and the idea is that Aldrich Killian has taken this kind of actor who's addicted to drugs, gave him more drugs, and said that you're playing the role of this character, the Mandarin, in a film. And he totally thinks that it's a movie and that he hasn't killed anyone and he's playing this role. And when they revealed this, I didn't even believe it was happening.
Right.
I was like, there's got to be some other thing.
I was expecting a Sherlock twist where he actually is the Mandarin.
Yeah.
That's what I thought
and he
too.
was like, I thought that was gonna be the ending when they pull him up and he's saying hello to all the camera people. I thought it was gonna somehow reveal that he actually was the Mandarin behind all this.
But just that it turned out to be Aldrich Killian behind all of it, who was a nobody in the comic books.
But see, I think that's the problem. Honestly, I saw it coming just because the way they set Aldrich up, in the beginning,
As the
Tony,
Mandarin.
Tony was even I didn't realize this, but I made my enemies that night. And then 10 years later, you see him, and he's really attractive, smooth. Pepper still says no to his technology, and then all of a sudden.
Well, I think we all expected Aldrich to be a big villain. I
Right.
didn't expect him. I thought
intrinsically
I saw, James Badge Dale, who played his minion,
Zavin, yeah.
Zavin, said it right. He was like, Aldrich was the brains, Mandarin was the mouth, he was the muscle. Zavin definitely smaller role, but I definitely saw them on equal levels. Even if the Mandarin wasn't didn't turn out to be an actor, I definitely saw them being equal parts in this kind of partnership. And the fact that he was just an actor, I didn't really think about.
Well, also, I think it helps that, they changed so much about the Mandarin's appearance from the actual comics that it wasn't too far-fetched to actually say, oh, he never was the Mandarin. Aldrich Killian is the Mandarin. He had all those dragon tattoos on him in the end. He was
I forgot about those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breathes fire.
Breathes fire. He says, I'm the Mandarin.
Yeah, big
There was
all these hints and more.
There was a whole mess of stuff that just blew our minds during this movie, I feel like. All right, that does it for our spoiler discussion for Iron Man 3. To watch our non-spoiler stuff, check out our other video. Check out the other videos on our channel. And for more on the Pretentious Film Majors, check out pretentiousfilmmajors.com.
Hey YouTubers, be sure to leave a comment below, and the first person to leave a comment will be receiving a Redbox code to receive a free rental for a movie.